Betty and Barney Hill, 1961. In September 1961, Betty and Barney Hill, an interracial couple from New Hampshire, USA, became involved in one of the earliest and most well-known cases of alien abduction. Betty, a social worker, and Barney, a postal worker and World War II veteran, were returning home after vacationing in Canada. During their return journey, around 10:30 p.m., they noticed a bright object in the sky that seemed to be following them unusually closely. As they continued their journey, the object began to descend closer to their vehicle, and they eventually stopped to observe it through binoculars. What they witnessed was described as an unidentified flying object in the shape of a disc with multiple bright windows. Alarmed, Barney retrieved a firearm from his car and decided to approach the object. However, before he could do so, the Hills claimed they heard a buzzing sound and felt disoriented. The next thing they remembered was regaining consciousness about an hour and a half later, finding themselves further down the road than they remembered being, with no explanation of how they had gotten there. In the days following, both began to experience strange dreams and fragmented flashbacks of the incident, including the sensation of being medically examined by small humanoid beings with large eyes and strange features. Betty and Barney Hill decided to seek medical and psychological help, eventually undergoing hypnosis sessions to recover repressed memories of what they believed had happened. Through these sessions, more detailed accounts emerged of their encounter with extraterrestrial beings and the medical tests they underwent aboard a spacecraft. The Hill case attracted national and international attention, being one of the earliest detailed public reports of an alien abduction experience. While some critics suggest there may be psychological or natural explanations for their memories, the case remains a landmark in ufology and the study of paranormal. Travis Walton, 1975. In November 1975, in the Apache Sitgreaves Mountains of Arizona, Travis Walton and his team of forestry workers witnessed an event that would change their lives forever. As they were heading home after a day's work, they saw a bright object in the sky. Curious, they approached in their truck to investigate further. Walton, then 22 years old, exited the vehicle and ran towards the object, a luminous disk with a white-bluish color that appeared to be floating a few meters above the ground. In an instant, a beam of light struck him, throwing him several meters backwards. His terrified colleagues fled the scene, believing Travis had been vaporized by the strange craft. After an intense search, Travis was reported missing for 5 days until he finally reappeared in Heber, Arizona, with a terrifying story. He claimed to have been abducted by extraterrestrial beings who subjected him to medical examinations inside their spacecraft. Travis described the aliens as humanoid with grayish skin, large heads, and enormous eyes, typical of descriptions in abduction encounters. During the days he was missing, Walton did not age, and medical analyses showed his body had not been subjected to extreme physical stress, which puzzled investigators. His story attracted national attention and was even investigated by local police and UFO experts. While some questioned its veracity, Walton's friends maintained consistency in their accounts over the years. Travis Walton's case remains one of the most intriguing and debated in ufology, with various theories ranging from a mass hallucination to a genuine encounter with extraterrestrial beings. For Walton, life was never the same after that encounter in the Arizona forest, leaving him with unanswered questions and an experience that would haunt him forever. Antonio Villas-Boas, 1957. In October 1957, Antonio Villas-Boas, a 23-year-old Brazilian farmer, lived through an experience that would mark him for life and catapult him to fame in the world of ufology. While working alone at night on his farm near São Francisco de Sales, in the state of Minas Gerais, Brazil, he saw a bright object in the sky descending towards him. The object, described as a large luminous globe, soon transformed into an unidentified flying object in the form of a disc that landed near his location. Fearless and curious, Boas decided to approach the object. According to his account, he was approached by 4 humanoid beings who took him aboard their spacecraft. These beings had a strange appearance. They were about 1.5 meters tall, had curly blonde hair, small blue eyes, straight noses, and light-colored skin. Despite the initial shock, Boas claimed to have been attracted to a humanoid alien woman, with whom he had a sexual encounter. After the experience, Boas returned home with strange symptoms, including nausea and physical discomfort. Later, he developed a rash that he claimed was treated with local doctors' medications. Antonio Villas Boas's case gained international attention and was one of the first to include a detailed account of an alleged sexual encounter with extraterrestrial beings. Researchers and psychologists have interpreted Boas's case in different ways. Some see it as a genuine account of a traumatic and strange experience, while others suggest it could have been a combination of dreams, hallucinations, and suggestion. Despite divergent interpretations, Villas Boas's case continues to be studied and debated in the ufology community as an intriguing example of a close encounter with beings from another world. Allagash abductions, 1976. In August 1976, four young artists and friends, Jack Weiner, Jim Weiner, Charles Fultz, and Charles Rack, decided to take a camping trip to Allagash Lake in Maine, USA. During their stay, the men reported experiencing an extraordinary event that would change their lives forever. One night while camping, the friends observed a bright object in the sky emitting intense light. Intrigued, they used their flashlights to signal towards the object and, at that moment, experienced a collective flashback. They remember being lifted aboard a spacecraft by humanoid beings of alien appearance. On board the craft, the men claimed to undergo medical examinations and tests by the aliens. The specific details of what they experienced are fragmented and often intertwined with memories and dreams following the event. However, what all witnesses remember is the fear and confusion of being in a completely alien and unfamiliar environment. After the incident, the men returned to their normal lives and did not publicly discuss the event for several years. It was only when they decided to undergo individual regression hypnosis that more vivid and disturbing details emerged about what really happened on that fateful night at Allagash Lake. The Allagash abductions case is considered one of the most documented and studied alien abduction encounters in modern ufology. Although the exact details and veracity of the experience remain subject to debate, the incident has left an indelible mark on the witnesses, who continue to grapple with the challenge of reconciling the inexplicable with their own perception of reality.